and welcome to another exciting talking head episode of my Filipino adventure. So I got a pretty good response from yesterday's video, and it's funny because I painstakingly edited and added music to all these other travel videos, and they did pretty well, but just me talking to a camera about land got a lot of views and a lot of responses. So I guess the point is it's content that people are looking for. And I like these interactive types of conversations between the viewers and myself. So I've got another question for you, and that is, should I bring my Filipina to America? I see over the 30-something videos I've seen people saying, don't bring her here, she'll become westernized and leave you. She's only after your money, blah, blah, blah. And then I see so many people saying, I met my Filipina 27 years ago and we've been happily married. So my question is, should I bring her here? Should I be worried about her leaving me when she's westernized? Does that say more about you or the man than it does the women, to say that they're so afraid to get her westernized that they're not going to be good enough in the Filipina's eyes? And I think that there's a lot of fear involved with a lot of people who marry with a huge age gap. Yna and I are 18 years difference, and even in the States it's not uncommon. So I feel comfortable with that. I think a lot of these 60-year-old guys who marry 20-year-old women, they fear to bring them back to the United States because they're 20 years old. You know, they're going to want to experience life. And what can a 60-year-old guy do? I mean, in 10 years, he's going to be pretty much limited in his mobility and his activity. And these people are in their prime of their lives. So I see both sides, but I think, I mean, what kind of relationship is that you'll have to keep them in the Philippines just to be with them? So you're afraid. The bond isn't strong enough. I've been searching on the internet for stats, and they're all over the place. I can't find a definite answer to this, but and correct me if I'm wrong. If you know these stats, please help me out here. This is interactive type of video. I want your comments. I am not, an expert on this, and I'm not an expert on the Philippines too. But like I said, I tend to go a little. I'm the artistic type, so I tend to go. It's one of my paintings. If you know who that is, I'll give you a shout out if you put it in the comments. See, there I go. I have no idea what I was talking about. I'm a flibberty gibbet when it comes to trains of thought. So. Statistics. So, I mean, I was married for 20 years, 17 plus together for 6 before then, and that ended in divorce, right? They say that I've heard anywhere from 50 to 57% of marriages in the U.S. fail, opposed to, and I can't get a solid stat on this, that 75% to 80% of international marriages, especially Filipinos, are successful. And I'm not sure if they're counting the ones in the Philippines and the ones who moved to America together. My dog drinks so much water and is so loud. Can you hear that? Okay, Molly, I'm making a video. Damn dog, making me look bad. So, do they want you just for your money? I think we touched on that. Of course they do, but I don't think American women or any women are that much different. They want security. Not so much they want to get their greedy paws on your inheritance or your fortune. They want, to them, security. And I think that's the same for American women too. Security and being a good provider is a very attractive feature to a woman, and that's evolution. If you believe it or not in evolution, which I am a believer, to protect their offspring. It's hardwired into their DNA. And so it's no different from across the world. So I don't think it's, especially when you're coming from a pretty poor country like the Philippines, and they see other Filipinos marrying Westerners or foreigners, not necessarily Americans, and having a much better life than themselves, that becomes a lot more attractive. And I think the point that we are exotic to them, to us, the Filipinos are the epitome of being exotic. The brown skin and the smoother skin is so smooth, their beauty. They look like tropical princesses. And to them, even what we would consider not very attractive as in American standards, to them they do find attractive because of it's an exotic look, or white skin. I've got blue eyes, which is a big plus, I guess, in the Philippines, and a pointy nose, which is another thing I like. Right now it's kind of wet, but blonde hair. So I'm considered exotic in the Philippines. So there's a lot of, I think, of factors at play when it comes to the why Filipinos like foreigners. And I'm a little off track here. So why should I bring my Filipina to the United States, or should I just keep her held up in the Philippines and maybe just wait till I retire then move there? I am siding with, I have no fear. Of course, Yna could come here and become westernized and leave me, but of course I could marry an American and she could, run off with my best friend. It's everything's a gamble, right? Everything's taking a chance, and I think that the stats are in my favor that American Filipino marriages have a higher success rate. And I think it has a lot to do with their culture, especially if you get what, people always tell you to get a province girl, a country girl, a barangay girl. And that's what Yna is. She's from a really small town. They have really strong values. They're very religious, and they seem to be very devoted. Not to say that some aren't. There's always some in every culture. But as a whole, I think that, I think Filipinas are great potential partners. And I'm not afraid to bring her back here. And she always says, hey, I don't care. Bring me there, you come here, as long as we're together, that's all that's important to me. And honestly, I think once she's gonna be homesick, I think at some point she's gonna wanna go home. I just have this feeling, because family is so important to her. So that's my question to you. I'm putting this out to you. Let's discuss this, and let's be civil. Let's no name calling or anything like that. I had to block a few people. And I hate doing that. I'm just such an easygoing guy. I'd just rather let's just talk, discuss, let's be classy about it. So what are your experiences? I want to hear from the people who live there with their Filipinas, who live here in the United States with their Filipinas. I want to hear people who went through breakups with their Filipinas. And let's discuss this, and maybe we can all learn something. And so subscribe, of course. I remember watching videos and people always saying, subscribe, push that like button. I keep on saying, I'm like, yeah, why? Yeah, okay, I'll do it if I want to. But now I see having a channel, the more subscribers you have, the more comments and likes, everything puts you higher up on, I guess, the YouTube pecking order. So like in searches, you'll come up higher in the searches and you'll get more views. And as of right now, I'm not monetized at all. I'm not making a penny off this, so it's not so much about the money, but it would be nice if we got a large following that we could monetize a little bit and use that money towards our Philippine adventures. So subscribe, like, comment, and you know what I'm going to say. You know, look at this clicker thing. It doesn't always work. Stay classy.